All right, everybody. I am here with my former client, Amanda. She graduated my Fitset one-on-one programs. Hello, Amanda.
Hi.
She dropped 22 pounds and 22.31 inches when she was in my one-on-one Fitset program. Since we worked together, it's been a couple months, and she was able to get down 32 pounds. So you lost an additional 10 pounds since we've worked together. So I'm just super freaking pumped for you, super excited. So I just wanted to interview you, and I'm really excited that we get to connect again because I missed you.
I know, I miss you too.
Look, there you are. All right. So, what I just kind of want to, go through your experience in the program and just any advice or any input. So, people who are considering the program can watch this and maybe get a better idea about what it's about. Because I know as a coach, I'm telling everybody, like, this is awesome. This is my perspective, right? But it's a lot different when people actually go through the program, they can share their perspective. So, if we can kind of backtrack, like, do you remember why you joined Fitset? Like, why did you start your journey with me?
Yeah, so I we had lived or well, so I had we had lived in Arizona and then we lived in Oregon. And when we were in Oregon, I kind of had a tough time there. I had gained some weight. Then we left Oregon, moved to Austin. We had been in a house, moved to an apartment in Austin, and then COVID happened. And, in the city, in an apartment, not active, I was gaining weight. And then over the summer, summer 2020, we moved to my husband's lake house, or family's lake house, which is where I am now. And I knew I had to lose weight. And like I was on Instagram, trying to find advice and like tips and stuff like that. And I'm 6 feet tall, which is obviously very tall for a woman. And, all these programs were like, oh, you need to eat like all these calories and all this protein, and I eat meat, and I like could not hit these protein goals that people were like, on Instagram were saying that I needed to eat. So I actually ended up, I think, gaining more weight. And then I went to the doctor in the fall, and my blood work wasn't bad, but it was off and like not as good as it had been. And I knew it too was because I had gained 20 pounds like within a year. And that was when I started looking, and I'd been following Jess for a while and stalking her and stalking her website and like watching all the videos and like looking at everything. And I'm a PT too. So I do have that, fitness background, but no info on nutrition. So that was why I had initially reached out to Jess and did the consult and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I target busy clients and you
Mhm.
guys are busy. So this lady travels like what was it, every week, every 2 weeks you guys would go to a new city, like throughout your
Um,
program?
yeah, it was like every 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. So like literally if people are saying they're busy, I'm like you're the example of busy and
Yeah.
like how to travel too. Like I think
Yeah.
just with like how can you still be healthy? People think that if you travel often or if you're busy,
Yeah.
you can't be healthy. And you guys like had many road trips, right? Wasn't there like an 18-hour drive in there at one time? Like something
Probably
crazy. And
multiple long car rides, like 10 hours,
yes,
12 hours, 15. Yeah. 15. Yeah.
yeah, you had like one long one. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And you still like throughout the program would drop every
Yeah.
week, even when you had those experiences. And so it's like, right, like that's the main thing is just finding out what works for your lifestyle, what is
Yeah.
sustainable, and you were killing it, you rocked it, and it's just so cool to see that again, even being on the road, you made the healthiest choices and you had a plan. So what did you enjoy about your because you did the one-on-one program, so that's the more customized, more personal experience. So was there anything that you enjoyed about the program that you think others should know about?
The calls week to week were super helpful. I realized I missed them a lot once they were done. Like even now, I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. Like we would always talk on Wednesday.
I'm
um,
always a text away, Amanda.
yeah, but I mean, just the personalization and just knowing that like someone was watching what I was eating and like actually like breaking it down with me and like looking and could see, like day to day, like, okay, like watching my weight and like knowing like, okay, like you this is what you ate yesterday, and like breaking it down, being like, okay, you had more sodium, you had more fat, you drank alcohol, whatever it was, just knowing that you were there like watching. And even with like the workouts too, like I said, like, I do have the fitness background, but I plan workouts for people all day, every day. I don't want to do it for myself. So just like, it was so nice to have that, and just like me being like, hey, like I want more of this or I want less of this. And just, you would change it right away. That personalization just made such a huge difference. And I know you watching my food too, that was really big for me.
Yes, always watching. And did you feel restricted at any time? Did you feel like you had to give up anything, or did you feel like it was no, you were good?
No, I never, I still, I mean, yeah, I didn't feel like I restricted. Like, I know that was something which we had talked about that I did have concerns with. Just, I mean, I'm
Mhm.
35 years old. I think a lot of people who went to college 10, 15 years ago can probably relate that, if you were drinking, you either didn't eat during the day or really restricted during the day. So just like,
Yeah,
talking through that and being like, like if you're drinking, plan for it, but like you still want to eat and just know it's one day, like, you can celebrate, do your
yeah,
celebration, whatever, and then have the next day, it's fine. It's the new day. You just
yes,
go ahead and do your thing. So, yeah, no, I never felt restricted. If anything,
good.
which we didn't, I mean, if anything, you really changed my mindset around it. Like it was like, I don't necessarily like want to eat certain foods because I really tied together that they didn't make me feel good. So it's,
Yeah.
I can even see now, it's like, I don't drink as much alcohol. Like I'd rather, we don't eat out that much anymore. Like even
So
when
just
we're doing,
overall habits have changed.
yeah, exactly. And like even on like the long
Yeah.
drives, like I just go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Wegmans and get like their prepackaged stuff. And like we do that instead of like stopping at Chick-fil-A, that type of thing.
Yep. Yep. Oh, Chick-fil-A. I know everybody loves their Chick-fil-A. Um, what was the most surprising thing that you learned? Like, was there anything that kind of like when we were going throughout the program? I mean, you dropped 20, 30 pounds in the last 6 months. Like, was there anything surprising? Like you said, like the restricting, you changed your mindset around that, changed your mindset around food. Was that like the biggest thing, or was there like anything to elaborate on as far as the most
Um,
surprising?
I think for me, I mean, like the big thing I think that really helped was like knowing what calories I need to be in to or need to be eating to be in a deficit. And then just to like the macros and like the breakdown of that and just how eating
Yeah.
different amounts of carbs or protein and fats can just like affect your weight. Like, and it's like if you have like a day where you eat a lot of fats, like if you have a charcuterie board or something like that, like you will be heavier the next day. And it's not like you're gaining weight. It's just the fact of like what you ate the day before is going to affect that. So I think that was just really surprising just because I used to eat charcuterie boards all the time.
They're so good.
They are so
They're
good.
so good. But yeah, so it sounds like too, like you really had that deeper connection with your body. Like you now
Yeah.
know, like kind of like it's okay to have that stuff if you want it, right? You can truly
Yeah.
have it, but and you didn't gain 2 pounds of fat overnight. But
Oh,
why, right? Like why did that happen? Because of the board.
yeah.
Is there any go ahead?
I said, no, exactly.
Oh, I was gonna say, is there any advice for that you have for somebody who's contemplating joining Fitset that they're kind of like on the fence, they're curious, but they're kind of scared of making that investment? Is there any advice you have?
Yeah, I wish I would have done this a lot sooner because Jess, I mean, you taught me so much and it's evidence-based. Like you have the articles, you have the evidence, and like it works. So it's, my husband is an engineer and very thrifty. So he was very hesitant at first about the price
Yes.
tag, but it's 100% worth it. I mean, you taught me stuff that I can use for my whole life. Like I've worked with trainers before where I did lose weight, but like I didn't know why, So it's just
Like that
nice.
was cool.
Right. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But like now what? Like now what do I do? So it's like, you taught me things that I can use my entire life and it's 100% worth
Awesome.
the investment. I mean,
Woo.
oh,
I know your husband killed me because he's very like thorough. He's an engineer, so I got it. When you're
right.
like he's an engineer, I'm like I understand. We'll work with him. We'll get him to understand it, right? And then you like yeah, he was like hesitant of you joining, and I totally get it, right? But I'm glad it was worth the investment. And
Oh
since
yeah.
we've worked together, you've dropped 10 pounds on your own. And when did you graduate? Like 2 months ago? 3 months ago? Has it been 3 months? It's been a
I think
while.
it was
Three,
two,
two and a half.
I honestly can't remember. Two, maybe. And
2 months. It says April 18th is your final. So you've
okay.
been able to drop 5 pounds basically on your own every month since we worked together. So
Yeah.
that's the coolest thing is like it is sustainable, and that's the biggest goal of the program, right? Is like, and I'm like, all right, I'm teaching you this. You better learn. You better ask me questions when you need to know, like, right? So I
Yeah.
have no doubt that you're going to continue reaching all of your goals, and it's just been so good watching you and hearing about all the things that you've learned and all the things you're going to continue to do because You're doing it. You're
Yeah.
reaching your goals. I'm just so excited for you.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I've been really happy.
Well, I miss you and I appreciate you taking the time to do this call with me. And if you're watching this playback and you guys have any questions on the programs, let me know. Again, I like sharing these testimonial videos with my clients because, right, you've gone through the program and I know it's hard, right? When you see the price tag, you're like, oh shit, like, oh, but there's a lot goes into it. And the whole goal of Fitset is to be like that college course, the things that we should have been taught in high school and in
Yeah.
college, and you're a
Yeah.
physical therapist. Cole's a physical therapist. I'm like, why are we not taught these things? I don't get it. So I'm
Yeah.
excited that you found it valuable. And just for anybody watching, let me know. Check out my website for info. Schedule the free consult, right? Like it's like in the consult, it's like, what do you got to lose? We'll just talk about your goals. And if not, if you don't want to join, it's a great conversation. I love talking to people. I don't shut up. So any final thoughts, Amanda? Do you feel good?
Yeah, no, I feel great. And I mean, I 100% recommend the program. You are great. I
Oh,
mean, like I said, I miss our calls. So like, it's,
miss you. We'll be in touch. Who knows? And that's the thing too. It's a lifelong journey. I'm like, sorry guys, if you work with me, if you want, you can be stuck with me. Like you I'll be your friend forever. So let me know if you need anything. But thank you, Amanda. And again, if you're watching this, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later.